What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You're watching the Marvel edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is just the Websters. We're talking about all things that matter to me in the world of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is episode number 24, and what we got to talk about in today's episode is Avengers Age of Ultron. And we're seeing the very first image of Ultron from the latest issue of Entertainment Weekly. And what they have right here is the very first look at Ultron. Now, Ultron is going to be played by James Spader. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be all just voice acting or it's going to be voice acting plus motion capture. But I find that James Spader is right for the part because as a voice actor, if he's going to be just doing 100% voice acting, I feel that his voice can be quite robotic and also quite animated at the same time. So, very good casting choice for Ultron. And here we go. Let's take a look. Here is Ultron in the cover of Entertainment Weekly. What do you guys think about that? Check that out. Here he is standing in between, or rather behind, Robert Downey Jr. and in his new Iron Man suit. I'm not sure what mark that is. And here is Captain America, Steve Rogers, in his new Captain America suit. And right behind him is Ultron and Ultron's minions. Now, from what I can tell, Ultron's minions actually look just like, kind of like Ultron, especially for the head, but their eyes and mouth and other parts glow blue, whereas Ultron himself glows red, just like he does in the comics. Now, if we're looking at Ultron from the comics, this is actually quite different from like the head. Okay, the main thing I want to look at is the head, okay, and like how his head shape is, because we need to be able to recognize him as Ultron. Now, you know what, things go through changes, okay, like characters go through changes all the time. This is obviously different from Ultron in the comics. Ultron in the comics looks a certain way. He's always recognizable every time, right? Now, if you didn't tell me that this is Ultron, and you just show me this is a photo, I would have to guess that this is Ultron. He looks very different. I think he looks good. I won't say that he looks awesome, but I think he looks good. I think that he will look awesome when we actually see him in a live action film. Now let's take a look at the comparison between Ultron from the comics to Ultron in the movie. And here we go. Here's this little bit of a side-by-side comparison. And what you see right here is that Ultron in the comics has a big mouth. Now maybe Ultron's mouth will open bigger in the movie, but he always has this really quite this distinct mouth that we're all all the fans are used to. Let's look at the ears. Now the ears are something very interesting in the comics because they stick out and they bend downwards and they get pointier downwards. On the other hand, on the movie version, it points upwards and then it's got some of it sticking downwards. So, you know, there's just little subtle differences here and there, but for the most part, you should be able to know that this is Ultron, the main villain in Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, the Entertainment Weekly images don't end here, okay? It isn't just Ultron that's being revealed. There's a lot of great shots from the production itself. Let's just take a look at this. What we have here is Hawkeye in his new uniform, his new costume. Looks pretty cool. Some people might think like, oh, this looks like very different from his original costume. Actually, if you remember the comics, he did have a costume just like this. I'm sure he's not wearing a mask, but he did have like a very long coat style costume just like this. All right, so that's looking good. Joss Whedon is directing Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. And there is Hawkeye with his his sleeveless version of his costume. Now, this is a great photo right here. Here is Tony Stark, Colonel James Rhodes, Steve Rogers, and Clint Barton. Okay, and they're chilling out. It's probably the Avengers Tower, which was formerly Stark Tower, Stark Towers. Here is both of the Chris's here together and looks like somebody's house. Okay, Black Widow's here, and here are the uniforms of your heroes: Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, Hawkeye, and Nick Fury. Okay, And here is a photo of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, our two geniuses in the Avengers team. And these two are buddies, all right? And of course, here we have the twins, and that is Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Now, I'm not really digging the look of Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron, but I originally wasn't digging the Quicksilver look for X-Men Days of Future Past, but he ended up being the best part about the movie. So I'm going to reserve judgment for now, but you know what? As a costume, it's kind of lackluster, okay? It's really just like a muscle shirt with some lightning bolts on it, white hair, okay, and a pair of tactical pants, okay? And that's it. Nothing too special. But you know what? Well, there you have it. That's really just our first look at Ultron. And when we first saw Ultron on set, I think it was played by just some kind of like a stunt actor, like a stand-in, because you don't really need James Spader, underneath that costume, because you don't really even see his face. So I think he's really just providing the voice acting for Ultron instead of voice acting and physical acting. But here he is. What do you guys think? I think it's going to be pretty cool when the Avengers have to go up against not just Ultron, but Ultron's minions. That'll be cool, because look at them. They look like freaking alien Terminators. Well, there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. Why don't you let me know your thoughts about Ultron, and also what do you think of the new costumes for Iron Man and Captain America? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation, and follow me on Instagram at The Ragin Nation. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned for Marvel Edition episode number 25. Peace. And I feel that the sight gags really overtake the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? And when you have to rely on sight gags all the time, that means that the screen